A former drug addict who was transformed by the simple act of walking a labyrinth. A mother sustained by faith after her son Eric was murdered. An activist encouraged by her church to lead a crusade against youth violence. All of these describe Mary Long, who is a member of Ingleside-Whitfield United Methodist Church in Chicago. Welcome, Mary.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you here. So can you share with me a little bit about your life, especially leading up to finding yourself in prison?
Well, yes. It started from a long history of addiction, and the addiction led to prison, and which addiction usually lead to prisons or death or institutions. However, after I was arrested, Ellen Munch brought the Labyrinth to the jail, and I was in DuPage County at that time. That was in 2001, and she laid it out in the gym, and she asked if anyone wanted to, walk it, and I told her I would.
So what is a labyrinth?
The labyrinth is a path that's, it's laid out. It reminds you of a maze, but it's totally not a maze. A labyrinth is designed for calming. It's designed for stress relief. It's designed to reduce anxiety. It's also, it gives you a sense of direction. It gives you a sense of peace, a sense of a pathway. So it's a path that you walk, and you walk to the center, and then you walk back out. And once the walk is completed, you usually, at least I did, I felt a very, very good sense of relaxation.
So I understand that you went through the labyrinth several times during your time in jail. What was the effect that it had on you? How did it seemed to have changed your life in some way. So can you describe a little bit about that process for you?
Okay, when I first walked the labyrinth, I made a connection. It's just as simple as that. I was always a Christian, and I do believe that, Jesus is Lord, and I've always believed in God. But however, I hadn't made that connection. It was just a connection. I know that the only way to God is through Jesus. And I know that, and I believe that with all my heart and of hearts, that Jesus Christ is Lord. And I know that that's the only way to God is through Jesus. However, the labyrinth just kind of opened me up to receive Jesus even more than I had already had received him. So the labyrinth opened up my heart and my mind to be able to receive and to listen to what Jesus was trying to say to me even more than I had been listening already. I had been praying through prayer and meditation and through reading, but the labyrinth, it was just a connection that allowed me to have a closer relationship with God.
Well, we also welcome with us Louise Brown, a friend of yours, and Renee Owens, who is pregnant with Eric's soon-to-be son. And they also have played a significant role in your life, particularly leading up post Eric's death. Can you share a little bit, especially about the way that the labyrinth has come into not only the life of your own transformation, but the transformation of the South Side, or at least hopefully the transformation of the South Side, hoping to address some of the violence that's in the neighborhoods and the ways that you have partnered with Renee in that work?
After Eric was murdered, March 12, 2012, I called Ellen and I asked if she can bring the Labyrinth for an anti-violence event. We developed a ministry, Sacred Ground Ministries, which is an anti-violence movement.
Renier, how has your involvement with this particular project shaped your own transformation and particularly your spiritual life and your own kind of grieving process as you figure out what life looks like after Eric?
Well, when something like this happens, particularly to your, not only yourself, but your children, and with my daughter having such a close relationship with her dad, that's the most hurtful part of, going through this. But Sacred Ground I just think is wonderful. Like she stated before, it's not something that we started just because he passed away, but it's definitely been a tool for healing because now it's personal. Before it was personal because it's our community, but when it's at your back doorstep, then it becomes you get more of a passion for it, and I think that is helping with the healing process. We did a visual in the Labyrinth, as she stated before, and it was just awesome.
Thank you. So Louise, how do you know Mary, and what has your intersection been with youth violence in the city?
Well, Mary and I met through a mom's group it's a group of mothers that meet who have lost a child through gun violence. And so that's how we began building the relationship. And I also came out to the Labyrinth, which was a good experience for me as well. And so I lost my son December 1st, Anthony Brown, to gun violence. And so through that group, we built a relationship and formed bonds. And so also with this experience, you see the needs of the community, you see what's going on. And so my heart is out for the children of the victims. Just like Eric, he has a daughter and have another daughter, and I have 2 grandsons who are hurting because their parents not there. So me and my family also formed a foundation in honor of my son, named after my son, for children who have lost a parent through gun violence.
So do you, and any of you can answer this question, do you feel like the Labyrinth, having the Labyrinth in the neighborhood and having a program like Sacred Ground could make a difference for reducing youth violence or violence in general in the city?
If people are willing to experience it, yes, I think it would. I think it would make a big difference.
Yeah, I believe that it would make a huge difference as well. I agree with her on that because I believe our children is trying to get our attention. They're lost, totally lost. And it's going to take each and every one of us, door by door, ward by ward, to address this issue. There's no one church. There's no one anti-violence ministry. There's no one alderman. There's no one police station. There's no one mayor. It's going to take the whole village to address this demon.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. And we at Different Drummers walk with you as you walk through this time of healing, redemption, not only for yourselves, but for the folks that we are all connected to.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you
you
for
so
having
much.
Thank you. I'm Emily McKinley for Different Drummers and the Greater Chicago Broadcast Ministries. Keep the faith.